and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, the Marketing Director for the City of Hampton. And today we're going to be talking about programs for adults at the Hampton Public Library. I have two guests with me, Rita Scrivner, who's the Research Librarian, and Valerie Gardner, who's the head of the main branch of the library. So let's talk about how you get adults in the door and get them excited about reading.
Well, one of the ways that we get adults excited about reading, Robin, is I created the Books to Film program for adults in 2004.
And I didn't realize it had been around that long.
Yes, it has. And we've been getting great attendance. The highest attendance I had at one point in time was 43 people. So that was outstanding.
That's about as many as you can hold, isn't it?
That's more than we really could.
What was that? Tell us what that book and movie was.
My Eye Was on the Sparrow by Zora Neale Hurston. My Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston.
Okay,
I misspoke.
Okay. And that's a challenging book.
Yes, it is.
That's great that you got that many people.
Yes, it is. And we gather once a month, every fourth Wednesday at 6 p.m., and we select a book as a group. We read the book in advance, and we get together and watch the film, and then we talk about how the two compare and contrast with each other.
That's just such an interesting hook, because I know that I read more when I'm in a book club because you have that commitment to the other participants. You know you have to do it. It's like a deadline. But the movie adds a different element to that.
Yes, it does. And sometimes the movie is so much different from the book because Hollywood takes a creative license with the book.
Right.
They may have an animal such as a cat in the book, but people are more comfy-feely with dogs, so they'll change it to a dog in the movie. You know, just a little subtle changes that you wouldn't think about, but they do as a Hollywood gimmick.
What are some other book to films that you've done recently that have been interesting or well-received?
Well, we've done several. The one that's coming up this month is The Descendants by The Descendants, and also
George Clooney. That's all we need to know, right?
George Clooney. He's always a big draw. Mm-hmm. And we've done most of the popular movies that have been adapted to films. So just about anything you can think of, we've done it.
That's a great idea. Now, when you do these books, is it hard to get them through the library? I would imagine demand goes up when people know what we're reading that month.
The demand goes up, and as well as the demand for the DVD goes up because people want to watch the DVD in advance. Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very interesting. I don't quite understand why, but that does happen. And they also go to the neighboring libraries, such as Newport News in York County, to check out books.
That's good. We have those cooperative agreements.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And Rita, you've started something that allows people to be their own book reviewers, right?
Yes, actually, our library assistant, Rita, started the Read It, Rate It book club. And there are paper forms available at the main library and the 3 branches. If people have recently read a fiction or nonfiction book that they particularly enjoyed or maybe didn't, and they'd like to recommend it or warn other people away from it, they can pick up a form and rate the book. They can drop off the form in a box that's available at the service desks at all the libraries, and then they can have their name entered into a drawing to win prizes.
Prizes. So does that help motivate people?
Well, so far, I think that sharing their opinions has been the biggest draw.
There is a community of readers, and I mean, I know when I finish a book, I look around for somebody else who's read it because you want to talk about it. And so that helps fill that need a little bit, I would think.
Oh, yes, and we have also benefited from the reviews. We're actually trying to find a way to make the reviews available generally so that people can benefit from other people's knowledge.
That's a great idea. Maybe we can find a way to get them on your website.
Yeah.
And the other thing you did start, though, is a short story reading session, reading time.
Yes,
How
I've
does
always
that
been
work?
a big fan of short stories. And I also kind of miss story time from when I was a child, and I thought other adults might miss being read to. And podcasting and other forms of spoken word entertainment are very popular now. And I thought maybe people would enjoy live audio entertainment from their peers and from people who work in the library and have been exposed to works that maybe they wouldn't have found on their own. And so the fourth Tuesday of every month at 6:30 in the Special Collections Room at the main library. One or more people will read a short story aloud or a short part of a larger work, and we get to talk about it and enjoy snacks.
And that's great, because for people who are very time pressed, they don't have to read a whole novel ahead of time. You've got just that, really short form artistically, and then you can have the discussion right there.
Right, and you don't have to register, just show up. You don't have to have anything to read. You can just come and listen.
That's a great idea. Really nice idea. Now, you were also going to talk a little bit more today about some of the special collections and research opportunities that are at the main library.
Yes, at the main library we have our special collections department. And in that department, you can go and research your family history, your family tree. Also, we're a large depository of local history. If you want to find any facts about Hampton, Newport News, and surrounding counties, back to when Hampton was known as Elizabeth City, you can do that. There's also a database, which Rita can speak to a little bit better, called Heritage, American Heritage. That is for people who want to find out about deaths, obituaries of loved ones that have passed on. We also have microfilm of the Daily Press dating back to 1897. Mm-hmm. We have the 1996, you can go online and find the Daily Press available on our website. And we just have a lot of neat tidbits back in the Special Collections Room. It's really a wonderful, quiet little area where you can get a lot of local government and local history.
So local history, and also genealogy, I know, is a very popular topic, and that people may want to be able to do that research there.
Yes, they can access Ancestry.com from the Special Collections Room, and if their family is from this area or has been here a while, there are some specialized resources for them: land records, birth, marriage, and death records. Also, if they're interested in yearbooks from all the area high schools, those are also in special collections.
Oh, wow. That's a little scary. People can see their high school pictures popping up on Facebook.
Oh, yes, they can.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. Now, one of the things you both mentioned is Ancestry.com and looking up archives online. You have some resources for people who may not be either comfortable with a computer or may not have them at home. How does that work?
Well, we do offer computer classes and one-on-one computer instruction on a walk-in basis. The formal classes that we teach, we generally do about 6 classes a month, all on the same topic. We'll start with the beginner's level. If people have never touched a computer before, that is fine. We're going to start with the mouse, Windows, the keyboard, go over everything at a comfortable pace, and then we gradually become more advanced. As the months go on, we end up doing basic and advanced Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint.
Oh, wow.
We try to cover everything that people might need.
And you don't think of computer skills as a literacy skill, but in this day and age it really is. It's very hard to get information if you don't have access to a computer.
And particularly with job hunting and applying for jobs, people can find that really intimidating when they're thrown into a situation that they didn't expect to be in with technology, and we're there to give them a hand if they need it.
Right, people who are changing careers or who've been in one field or have been laid off in this economy suddenly realize that the game is different than it was the first time they got that job.
Exactly. Many companies, they don't accept paper applications anymore, so you have to do your application online, and that is really intimidating to people who really don't know anything about using a computer.
I bet it is. I know. I mean, even the Hampton City, when I applied, it was all online. I don't know if they did paper applications as well, but online is the way you find out about the job opening, the way you do the initial application. So you guys will help people through that if they need some assistance.
Absolutely.
Now, is that available only at the main branch, or do you have some of that at the other libraries as well?
They're at the other libraries as well. They have computer labs, and the staff there will help them do their applications as well.
That's great. And then the branches, of course, are all across town, so most people
Yes.
are no more than 3 miles from a library, which makes it very easy for them to access those services.
That's right. We have 3 other branches. We have the Willow Oaks branch, the Northampton branch, and the Phoebus branch libraries.
That's great. So almost every neighborhood.
Just about.
That's good. Well, are there anything else you'd like to highlight about what adults can do or access at the Hampton libraries?
Well, there are several databases that people can access on-site and from home as long as they have their library card in hand. One of our new ones that I'd like to mention is Mango Languages, which is...
Mango Languages,
yes.
What is that?
It's an interactive language learning software. We offer 13 different foreign languages from the basic level to advanced, and 3 of those languages are ESL.
And you better say what that is.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That's English as a second language. We have that for Arabic speakers, for Spanish speakers, and Mandarin speakers.
That's great. So people who know English can learn a foreign language, but also people who are new to this country can get better at their English skills.
Yes.
And you can do that from your own home as long as you have a library card.
Yes, you can.
That's correct.
That's great. See, I didn't know that. And is that all, or did you say there were a couple databases you wanted to highlight, Rita?
Oh, we also have a fairly recent subscription. It was donated by Hampton House Auctions, Prices for Antiques. It collects the information from about 140 auction houses around the country, and people can see a photo of the item, how much it cost. So if they're researching maybe an item they found in their attic and they want to get an idea of how much it would fetch, they can do some research in that Prices for Antiques database.
Oh, wow. That's like Antiques Roadshow in your own house or at the library. That's a great resource. Well, I think that's amazing that there's so much you guys do that you don't necessarily know, the public doesn't necessarily know about. So I really do thank you for coming by today and sharing that with us. Valerie, how long have you been with the library?
33 years.
No way, really? Has
Yes, I
it
have.
changed an awful lot over that period of time?
It certainly has. When I came in, we had card catalogs, we had a Recordax machine for overdues. All of that is totally obsolete. So today's patrons wouldn't know what a card catalog is.
No, they wouldn't. And nobody would have predicted that you would have. How many computers do you say you have in your public access computer?
Well, for the main library, for adults, we have 30. And for the children, we have, I believe, 10. That's at the main location only. And then each of the branches have their own computer labs as well.
That's just completely different.
It
Wow.
really is.
And Rita, how long have you been with the library?
A little over 4 years.
Mm-hmm. So not as much change during that period of time. But
I haven't seen
still
too much
some.
yet.
You'll see e-books pretty soon, we hope. That'll be
Yes.
e-reader books. That'll be a new addition. Okay, well, thank you, Rita, and thank you, Valerie, for coming by, and I hope you'll come back again.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for watching this episode of Round Robin. I hope you'll come back again as well.